This video is made for anyone who's working hard to become a UX designer. Today, I will share my step-by-step process of building a design resume. I'm Aliena, I'm a self-taught UX designer, and welcome back to my channel. So let's talk about the tool first. If you ask a senior designer regarding how the look of a resume should be, they might suggest you to use a design tool to do those 2 columns design. I did that, but it didn't work for me simply because a lot of companies these days use a resume scanning app. And if you use a design tool like Figma, it might not get the correct message because of the way that you laid it out. And that's why I suggest you to use the most humble design tools out there, Microsoft Word or Google Doc. Today I'm just going to demo how I use Google Doc to write a UX design resume. Next, let's talk about the structure of the resume. I suggest you to start with basic info on top, then moving to experience, which is the main section, and then skills, and finally education. Now, regardless whether you just graduated from a bootcamp or you are still taking a certificate courses or you are still in school, I still suggest you to put experience on top, simply because the field of UX design is really not friendly to newcomers. And that is why it's better to brand ourselves as an experienced designer rather than a fresh out of bootcamp designer. And whatever main design projects you wanted to put into, let's say, the education or a project section, you can move that to the experience section. And now I will share my way of writing every single line in this resume. Let's start with the skill section. So for the skill section, you can literally just copy everything I had here. If you've learned UX design, you know how to use Figma, then you can pretty much just learn any other tool I listed here in 10 minutes. If you have any other skill, feel free to put it there, but there's no need to have like a huge list of what you know. To the education section, just put whatever bootcamp you attended or certificate program or university program you attended. If you have GPA, put it there, the year, the city, the country. And I don't think there's a need to use bullet point to explain exactly what you did in college or in every bootcamp. Today's video is sponsored by Spline.Design. Spline is a super cool 3D design web app, and it is also free. You can make all sorts of design assets there to level up your website, product, and it's also fun to just play around. Let me show you. This is my first project on Spline. It took me 5 minutes to make it because I used a template. It is an Aliena hoodie! I love it. I can use all sorts of angle to view it, and the resolution is just so clear. And I didn't even download an app. It's not like AutoCAD where I have to download an app. It's just online, and the look of the app is so modern. I will show you a few other projects too. This person made a 3D like icon. Just look at this. This is so cute. Let's see another one. This is a cute animal, and it can be used anywhere in an app. Just screenshot it and put it there. The way to explore more projects is to go to library. Wow, and there's an iPhone 13 mock-up. You know what? We can literally just screenshot our UI UX design and put it here to showcase in our portfolio. Let's see how it looks. Damn. And you can also make animation here too. You know what? I can't wait to see more great work here. So make sure to check out Spline.Design. Now let's talk about this experience section. What should I write there? Well, I suggest you to go with around 4 experience, and ideally 3 of them shall be related to UX design. The first one is the main one, which is the one that you're currently doing. Maybe it is a UI UX design internship, but ideally it needs to be a UX design project with real life client. And for the other 2 design projects, it can be sketchier projects you did before or personal project. And the 4th one can be something that's not that related to design, it's simply the work you had before. For me, it was UX research. And let's just put in the title, you're the UX designer at. After the at, we can put the company name or the project name, and I will show you how I brainstorm the detail I need to write about underneath each of this work title. So I designed a brainstorming session that's very simple, starting with before, ending with after, and in the middle is what I did. So I'll give you an example. For the most recent project, let's brainstorm what's the company like before we're here, what I did, and then after we're here. So before, the startup was not making money. They do not have a product that monetize. The startup has some funding and a wild idea, but no actual product, no user feedback, no impact. Now what I did, designed a mobile app from conception to delivery. I did wireframing, I did low-fi, high-fi, mid-fi prototyping, user flow. I built a design system. I conducted user research and user testing, iterated more than 3 rounds based on feedback, helped to build brand assets, endless meetings with PMs and software engineers, SWEs, software engineers. That's kind of it. Now let me brainstorm what the company is like after I left the company. I made the team more energetic and efficient. The founder and the team were very satisfied of the app, and the app is under production. The user testing participants brought back very positive review after the second user testing section. They really like the product and want to use the product. And the founder can now use the app design to ask for more funding. As you can see, this is the most honest version of what was there, what happened, and what impact that we made. Now we need to package ourselves and use numbers to convince the recruiters that we are a really legit UX designer that can make the company great. So now I'm trying to use what I brainstormed here to come up with 3 to 4 points for the project. And please make sure whatever point that we write down, it's not like a very generic point where we can use it to any project. And in order to make it more specific and legit, just bring in a little bit introduction about the product or a little bit explanation about the target user. I usually start with the impact and then say it by, I achieved this by doing this. So enabled the startup to monetize. And here I want to try to make some number, but because they still haven't monetized yet, I can bring in the valuation or the company's valuation with a estimated 1 million estimated return in 2 years. Another way to bring in number is to use years, time, month. By, here comes what I did, designing the UI/UX of a habit formation iOS app. So now I introduced what this app is about instead of just saying building an app. From conception to delivery through 3+ iterations. Here's another way to use numbers to bring how many iterations of the design you've done. Here I'm just gonna bullshit a little bit about what I did. Not bullshit, but literally what I did. Wireframing, prototyping, and user testing. And the second kind of impact I want to say is that, the user feel great. Not just the startup is making money, but the user actually can be benefited from this. So I would say improved user satisfaction by, if there's a number, then great. If there's just a rough, like a user satisfaction before and after estimation, it's also okay. Through introducing the test a habit feature. Another way to make it more specific and looks legit is to introduce what feature did you design in this project to tailor the needs of international consumers who are struggling to live in a new environment and new routine. Here what I did is that I brought in the persona of the product, and this again makes the point looks more legit and make it more specific rather than a generic point. Another impact that I made is to bring the team kind of together, make it more energetic, but think about how to frame it, in a numeric way. So I would say increase design speed by 16% through establishing an expandable design system in Figma, trying to bring the tool while collaborating with the product owner and a team of software engineers. And the third point not only shows that I can make a design system using Figma, but also shows that I have this collaboration skill where I can communicate with product owner and software engineers. I heard from the recruiters that it's really good to start with every single point with a different verb. So don't just use improved, increased all the time. Try to use other things like managed, enabled, collaborated. You can find resume action verb online at a lot of places. So I'm not going to go too deep regarding what word to use. And also English is not my first language. So if I have any grammar and spelling mistake, just ignore them, please. And now I'm happy with the 3 points. I can delete this or can leave it to add more points later. I'll do the same for the other 3. So doing a before, what I did, and after brainstorming session. And this example is for a website. When it comes to designing a website or redesigning a website, the before could usually be, oh, this company has an outdated website, or this company doesn't have a website. And the after could be, I designed a website, I attracted more audience, I generated more sales. So let me show you how I write about redesigning a website. For this one, again, I want to start the first point with the strongest statement, which is exactly what I did, what I helped the company to do. And that is to increase the company website visit volume by 23%. Again, is it exactly 23%? No one can do a perfect measurement, so the key is to emphasize what you did here and just use an estimated number. By redesigning the website to adapt to mobile devices. And here I emphasized what exactly I did, which is making a website that's outdated into something that's more responsive to modern users. And incorporated a modern aesthetic through 2+ rounds of sketching, wireframing, and prototyping. So that's my first point. The second point that I want to emphasize is how I brought in more Gen Z audience. Gen Z means young people, teenagers. So I would say attracted Gen Z audience through upgrading to a more modern branding and creating an expandable, again, design system that aligns with the new brand guide. The third impact that I wanted to highlight is how I increased the retention rate, which means whatever user that come to the website, they are more likely to stay 2 seconds more than before. Improved the website retention rate by 22% by introducing a stronger design hierarchy. Yeah, and here what I'm trying to do is showing a little bit of my design style, which I always emphasize on design hierarchy. Design hierarchy means when you come to the website, you know what button to click. Usually a website can highlight 1 to 2 buttons, but if the website was outdated before, then the hierarchy could be very messed up. Everything's everywhere, you don't know where to see, you don't know where to click. And if you simplify everything and make everything very visible, clickable, then that's improving a design hierarchy. That simplifies the user flow for customizing a product. Oh my god. And finally, you can add another point about collaboration. So collaborated with the product manager and the front end engineer Ring team using the Agile development framework to ensure a quality delivery. Here I brought in Agile development framework because Agile is a thing that a lot of startups or large companies, tech companies are using these days. Although I think it's more like a philosophy plus a stand-up meeting. But you can put it there, to make it more legit. Now let me delete all these. And the third thing I want to show you is how to write about a personal project. I would suggest you to phrase your personal project as an entrepreneurial project and using words like initiated, this kind of thing, to show that you found a problem, you want to solve it, you are taking initiation, you are the leader of the project, instead of something like, I don't have a company to work with, so I have to do this myself. Again, let's brainstorm what happened before and after. And if it's a personal project, the before scenario is just pretty much the problem we've seen. The after scenario could be what did the user feedback show, or did you put this project online and to gain more attention? And what I did is pretty much the very typical UX process from start to finish. Of course, I will use an action verb like initiated, and I'll state why I did this, what is this about, and kind of plugging a number here. Initiate a project that helps journal writers to customize their personal journal online that generated 283K plus user interest. Now that in the first point I have a little bit of impact there, I've had a little bit of what I did there, was the project about there, and I initiated it here. The second point, I want to talk more about what I designed, how I designed it. So design a journal customization user flow with 92% NPS. NPS means Net Promoter Score, and it is a very simple thing. If you did a personal project, you just ask 5 people, how likely are you to recommend this product to your friend? Here I'm just taking an average responsive website. When you did website, you can highlight that it is responsive using Adobe XD. I hate Adobe XD, by the way. I'm a Figma person. Through 3+ rounds of user testing, sketching, wireframing, and prototyping. Now, the final point, I want to say that I managed the project by myself, even though it's just me and myself. But I managed the project using the Agile development framework to assure efficiency and quality delivery. Great! And that's how I write a personal project experience. Finally, something that's not UX design. If you did something before, work experience before that's not UX design, totally fine to write it here, and there's no need to write so many points. If you can kind of relate it to UX design, then great. If not, highlight how you have like collaboration skill, communication skill, and definitely highlight the impact that you had. So for this one, I will say I brought significant insights to the UX design team by blah, blah, blah. For the next part, we need to redesign the look of this resume. Again, there's no need to go fancy, but we have to make sure everything fit on one page. And here's some quick tip. Bold your name, make it to 20, make it center. We can also make this part center. And if you're in Google Doc, go to File, go to Page Setup, and you can decrease the spacing on top, bottom, left, right. Now everything just almost fit there. And when it comes to the date and stuff, you can put it to the right. You can bold this part first. And put the date and spacing to the right. Same with education. And for the header of each section, you can increase the font size put something like 15. And don't forget to export it by download as PDF. Ta-da! The resume is done. If you want to edit the color a little bit more, feel free to do that. If you edit the font a little bit, feel free to do that. And I hope this video is helpful for you all. I made this video because you guys voted for this video. And also don't forget to check out Spline.Design to check out their 3D design app. That's super, super cool. And thank you everyone. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you can to support my channel. Thank you everyone. Have a great day and I will see you next time.